Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of the Fortis After Hours podcast. I'm your co-host, Nate, joined by my wife, Liz.
Hi.
And our dog, Toby. If you don't already know, Toby's kind of our mascot for Fortis. But
basically.
Yeah, today he wanted to join us for today's episode, which is another awesome one. Today we're going to be talking about 3 things that we wish we would have known when we first started out in the gym, all right? Or kind of like wish we would have understood, applied, implemented.
Like some of these are probably things that we were told at the time, but
Yeah.
just we're like, okay. But like actually,
Yeah.
it would have helped.
Yeah, exactly. So we both have 3 things, and it's interesting because we kind of come from different backgrounds. So I played sports my whole life growing up, all through high school. I played soccer, I ran track, I played volleyball.
Couldn't be me.
Yeah. I was pretty active. There was a class in, it was like my senior year, I think. It was called competitive PE. I signed right up for that.
No.
It was awesome. The final was like us just showing up to do like the class. Nice.
That's weird.
Yeah, it was awesome. But yeah, so Liz had a little bit of a different background.
I didn't.
What was your background in sports?
None.
Okay.
None background with sports. I started working out. I sort of worked out for like a little bit, did some classes, and I wouldn't really say I like took it like serious really until I actually kind of started like with powerlifting. So most of mine are going to be a little more like, I feel like powerlifting specific probably.
Yeah.
Versus just like training in general, because I feel like that's more.
I mean, that's been the majority of your.
That's basically what I've done. I mean, I worked out for a little bit before. I dabbled in a couple things, but none of those were like actually really serious, I wouldn't say. So yeah, most of mine are going to be specifically probably towards powerlifting, but I would say that you could probably apply some of them to other things too. It's just how I took it from powerlifting.
Yeah, and mine are kind of like, I mean, you could apply them to anything really. Mine are a little bit powerlifting, a little bit just kind of general. Well, really, you can just apply all 3 generally.
Yeah.
But that's just kind of our different journeys. Because like I said, we had different journeys in the gym. And now I've been powerlifting for quite some time. When did I start? 2019? 2018? I don't know. Been a while. But
my first meet was 2018.
So 2019 was my first meet.
Yeah.
So I'd like done powerlifting training before, but I became a power lifter in 2019 when I first started competing. And I've been doing that the most consistently out of the other things that I competed in. But I've also competed in various other things, Olympic lifting, Olympic weightlifting, CrossFit competitions. I've done running races and bodybuilding, men's physique. So I've done that as well. Which is where I got my first thing that I'm going to be talking about today. So I'll go ahead and kick us off. We're going to go back and forth. So the format, we're going to go back and forth. I'm going to share one. Liz is going to share one. Got to talk about it and then move on. All right. So my first one is got to eat big to get big. So that was something that like, I know like sounds silly to some people, but I also know there's going to be some people watching this that struggle to gain weight and put on weight. And that was me. So I was always a little bit smaller. I was kind of like 155, 165 when I started like actually trying to work out. And I wanted to put on size and get jacked like most people. And I was eating, I mean, once I started working out, I was eating so much. Like in my brain, I was like, oh, I'm eating so much. Like there's no way I could be eating more. And then, it's kind of like, I'm like, something must be wrong with me. Like I'm eating like 3,000 calories and I'm not gaining any weight and all this stuff. And the fact of the matter was that I just wasn't eating enough. It's pretty simple. There's many different diet, not trends, but strategies we'll call it. But at the end of the day, you want to gain weight, got to be in a caloric surplus. You want to lose weight, got to be in a caloric deficit. And the fact of the matter was I was just not in a caloric surplus. So in my brain, even though I felt like it was a ton of food, my body was burning it. It was just burning it up. So I struggled to gain weight for a long time. And I had a good friend of mine, Brian, we're still friends. But I was really lucky to meet him at the first gym that I worked at. And he kind of like showed me the way as a personal trainer, and we did a bodybuilding show together. And before we did that, he's like, you got to gain weight. I was like, okay. Because like we were going to do this massive cut. And this is basically how I figured this out. So this is a real quality use of my money at the time. But I started personal training. I had another job as a server. And then I had a third job at that time as doing some marketing for a therapist's office. And so I was pretty busy. And at the time, I was making enough to I had enough to spend basically. So I was just like, oh, I'll just go. Basically Brian's like, you got to eat way more. I was like, all right. So I had my meal prep, and then I would do this kind of routine. I would go to Qdoba across the street and Starbucks, and I'd go every day, and I mean it, every day. I'm getting a burrito, double wrap, queso, all this stuff. And basically I would just do that every single day. It worked. I think I gained close to 30 pounds. I went from I don't remember exactly, but 155, 165, all the way up to 190 something. I remember that. And I did that in a summer, or I don't know, it was not that long. It was the first half of the year, we'll say, 6 months. And that basically illustrated, though that was maybe not the healthiest way to do that, it was a way to do it. And sometimes that's just what you gotta do. You just gotta figure stuff out, especially with nutrition. That basically, that real life example, taught me right then and there. I was like, okay, if you you want to get bigger, you can get bigger. You just got to eat probably way more than you think you need to. And some people that might not be the case. It just depends on the person. But for me, I had to eat. In my brain, I'm like, this is insane. But there I was gaining weight, and I was like, okay. So that's something that I wish I, would have learned a little bit earlier, because I definitely spent probably 3 years. I guess I didn't learn it too late, but I probably spent a good 3 or 4 years before that. I'm doing calisthenics. I'm doing all these different things, and I was getting pretty jacked. I was pretty defined, but I was 145,
Small.
155, yeah.
Small.
And I was like, this is just how I am. So I would say that was my first thing that I wish I probably would have learned a little bit earlier. Or something that I think some people that are trying to get bigger, that would help them learn that you just got to eat big.
And I think too, just to kind of add, not even necessarily you don't want to gain a ton of weight. Maybe you don't want to gain 30 pounds, whatever, but you want to put on some muscle. You want to actually build a little bit. You might need to eat a little bit more than you think you need to get you a little bit stronger, or whatever the case might be. So
yeah, and the inverse is kind of true as well. Sometimes people are like, oh, I'm not eating anything. I'm in this caloric deficit. And it's maybe you're not. You know what I mean? You might need to eat less. I think being able to learn how to control your body weight via calories and nutrition is a extremely valuable thing that I think a lot of people would benefit learning probably as soon as you hear this podcast. All right, what's your first thing?
So my first one, this kind of has a tiny bit of background to it to explain why, but I'm not going to really go into it because I have before. But basically, doing something, finishing your workout, is better than not doing anything and quitting and having a full little breakdown.
Yeah.
Because that used to happen a lot, specifically when I first started powerlifting. If I couldn't hit the numbers, or I failed a rep, or things just weren't moving the way that they should be, basically I would just be well, wow, I suck, I'm done. And I would just quit. And obviously that doesn't really help you out very much. So I've now learned through trial and error, basically, and just being told over and over, just do something. Your body doesn't feel good that day, you can't hit the weight that you're supposed to hit, whatever it is, just do something, and you will get more out of it long term. You will still be able to make progress. I would say there was a good probably couple years semi-recently that I just couldn't hit any numbers that I wanted to be hitting. I was failing numbers that I used to be able to hit for reps. It was a whole situation. Mental health is crazy. But anyways, weirdly during that time, I did somehow figure out that if I just finished the workout or did less weight or just kind of kept going, that I would magically magically make progress still, and like the next week maybe wouldn't feel as bad, or whatever the case may be. And by doing that for years, essentially, like now I'm to the point where I'm hitting PRs on squats and bench, so like the numbers I've never hit, or like hitting numbers that I used to want to hit for hitting them for reps now, which is crazy. But that didn't just happen overnight. It happened from the years of just doing what I was capable of doing. And there are some days where like maybe like the main lift, you just can't do it. Like for whatever reason, your body is too sore, you're hurt, you're whatever, your brain isn't in it. Just stop and do all the accessories for the day. Yeah. Like sometimes it's better than doing nothing. Or there's been days where like I'll start warming up for squats and I'm just like, can't do this today. Yep. And so then I'll bench instead. Like sometimes you just have to like, whatever.
Kind of audible.
Yeah, change it up a little bit. Obviously you don't want to do that all the time because there's a point to the programming, but some days you just have to do that. And doing something that day is always going to be better than just quitting or stopping or not doing anything, because doing nothing isn't going to make you any progress. And I used to do that a lot. And then also I would like feel guilty or bad, like if I couldn't hit the numbers programmed, but really that also doesn't matter. Like doing something, like maybe you were supposed to hit 185, but oh man, 175 feels pretty heavy. Cool, just hit 175. Like that's okay. It's fine.
Well, and I think a thing like why that's tough for people sometimes, and probably tough for you, is like you want to do what is expected. You want to do what you think or your coach thinks or whatever.
There's rules. There's directions.
It's like I need to be doing this, and the fact of the matter is, like powerlifting, Olympic lifting, bodybuilding, most things that you do in the gym are really like a kind of culmination of a big body of work. Like almost nothing gets accomplished like super quick, right? Actually, I would say the quickest thing you can accomplish, like really nice like dopamine hits of like progress, would be running, ironically, because a lot of people don't like running, but running and cardio, you can actually make some pretty like, staggering progress within just like a month. Versus like, if you just start lifting and let's say you're at 135 and you're like, I want to bench 400, you're not going to do that in a month. Like, I don't care. Like, it's just not going to happen. No. And so I think, that's a really important lesson for people to learn, is just like doing a little bit of something. It's still inching you towards your goal. And, some days you might move an inch further towards your goal. Some days you might move like 100 feet towards your goal. You know what I mean? It just kind of depends on the day. And all of those little, distances, to go with my analogy, add up to completing that big giant task, or traveling the distance, so to speak.
Yeah, so, but if you just quit, you're not getting anywhere.
You're not going anywhere. You're going backwards, actually, because like the other, like, well, I guess not, like you're in competition with everyone, but if other people are moving forward around you, you're doing nothing and you're going backwards.
Yeah, and having full little like mental breakdowns, crash out, whatever you want to call it, like it's not ideal for any part of your brain. Yeah. But being able to, so like, that's not to say I don't still have those sometimes, like last week.
I already forgot about it.
I didn't. But anyways, you can still have those if you need to. Take your moment, take your time, but then like continue on with whatever it is you're supposed to do for the day, because
and I'll give you a bonus.
Anyways.
Here's a bonus one. This is not part of my 3, but I'm going to do a quick bonus one for
bonus.
This is like relationship advice. So like I will say it was like super hard for me in the beginning of like our relationship, like just watching like Liz sometimes. I'm like, oh my God. I'm like she's just
what's
like
wrong with her?
Yeah, well, not like that. It's more like more like sympathy. Like I was just like, geez, like it's just a squat. Like what? Bless you. It's just a squat or it's just a bench or something. And she's like just like crushed. And I'm like are you like And it took me forever to figure out. I'm like, why? Like I was like, is she okay? Like gonna be okay? And then I finally realized that like I do think that that's something that like sports kind of teach you. It's like failure. Like I failed a lot, like in sports and like high school. Like I mean, like I missed a pass on the field, or like I missed a shot at the goal. Like like I failed often. So I'm like, and I guess that just helped me like learn how to deal with failure. But it was weird because like when I met Liz, like when I met Liz, we talked like a few times. I remember this, and this is actually what really helped me. And this is like important like communicate with your spouse or friend, whatever. Like, communication is key. Like, finally, I'm just like, did you ever like fail anything growing up? Like, you know, like, because
Nope.
I just thought, like, I'm like, well, of course, like, certainly she's like failed it. And then I'm like,
No.
maybe she just is like, because I knew she had like straight A's, like straight A student, you know, like all this. And then I was kind of connecting in my brain. I'm like, well, she never played sports. I was like, I wonder if she's just really never like failed. No. And I asked you that day, and then like she's like, no. I was like, oh, okay. And anyways, that like just that like small conversation really helped me kind of understand, like, as you know, your spouse and like coach and whatever. I was like, okay, like, so when this happens, we're just got to let her work through it and just be encouraging, which I, you know, always am. Like, I'm like, just do a little something. But yeah, because for a while at first I was like, oh, it is okay. Like, I'm like, whoa. Like, I didn't know what to do. I was like, yo. But yeah, after that, it got a lot better. So communicate. Good. Pro tips for a good relationship. All right, my number 2. Ooh. This one I just learned recently. All right. Recently, like within the past couple of years, and I've been in the gym lifting for, I don't know, I was trying to think, like 15 or 16 years now, straight. Not every session do you have to crush yourself. So this goes back all the way to when I first started lifting. Basically, I'm a pretty practical person, and I'm pretty like actions, you know, speak louder than words type thing. So I started working out, starting to get a little jack, a little muscle. I was like, all right, I'm doing good. And then, you know, I was working out maybe like 3 times a week or something, 4 times, I don't know. And I'm like, well, I'm just gonna do this every day. It's like I'm gonna go in there and just obliterate myself like every single day. Yeah, because I was like, I mean, if I'm doing it this much, like literally just in my brain, I'm like, well, I'm doing 4 days and I got this results. What if I do 7 days? And I worked out for 7 days a week for a while, like maybe like a year or 2. Like every day I was in the gym doing something and I was going. Like I would just like, I didn't really care too much about form. Like I'm just in there, like I would just be lifting the weights until I could not move type thing. And I mean, this was when I was like I don't even know, like 17, 18, 19 range, 17, 18 probably specifically. And I had no idea about recovery. I'm like don't need it. Like, and I mean, it worked for a while, but then after a while, I definitely hit this like really bad, like energy low sometime in my like, it happened a couple times actually, like sometime in my teens where I was just like, I just felt like I couldn't do anything. I was like, oh my gosh, like what happened? And looking back, I think I definitely was just doing too much and not recovering. And weirdly, you'd think I would have learned from that situation. Bless you. But I didn't, and I just continued to go balls to the wall every single workout and get after it. And I think that's just something in my soul. I don't know. I just like crushing myself. Like I'm just like, let's go. Like let's just see what we can do. I mean, to be honest, that's a real reason why I still like the sport of powerlifting, is because I just want to see what I could do. If you had told me that I was going to be deadlifting 700 pounds in my lifetime, I would have been like, you're insane. But I've done that. So now I'm like just trying to see what we can do with my body. And I like pushing myself. I mean this, like literally I kind of just learned this, when was surge, like, so maybe like within 3 years ago. So relatively recently. I just finally learned that I'm like, well, like you can't just like totally crush yourself every single workout, every single rep. Because I would, you know, like there would be percentage work in powerlifting. We got some powerlifters listening, I'm sure. Percentage work in like the 80% or 90%. Who knows where I was getting my percentages from? Not my actual strength, but I'd be like, you know, I remember vividly, like many times, like I'd hit like my first rep and everyone's like, okay, like, and I'm like, oh no, I got 5 more. Or like, and I'd get them. Like that's the crazy thing, I'd get them, but they were like, I mean now like looking back, they were like RP like 10, and then the next one was like RP rep. 11. Yeah, like every single one. And wow. Anyways, I do wish that I would have learned that a lot earlier, because the fact of the matter is, you guys, like it's okay to go hard in the gym. And my current split, I work out 4 days a week. I just started adding the 5th day back in, but it's very like, it's an hour or less. It's pretty chill. It's more just to get some cardio, because I do need to do some cardio, good for the heart. But yeah, I basically work out 4 days a week, and I let myself get after it on those days, because those are my training days. But then on the other days, I am pretty chill. I took a page out of Liz's book. she always said, she's like, I'm recharging, or I'm letting my body heal, or whatever. And it works. So yeah, that was something I wish I would have learned a lot earlier, because like, or I guess implemented, because like I knew it, like in my heart of hearts, I'm like, this is probably like too much, but I'm like, I could do it. And so yeah, I think that's something I wish I would have learned a little bit earlier.
That's fair.
What's your number 2?
Number 2. Oh, so I learned this as I was like rebuilding back through my not great period of training and life and meets. But basically I learned that no one actually knows what numbers you've hit, what your PRs are, and like, not that they don't care, like that they don't, like, it's not like to be mean that they don't know, they just don't know. Yeah. They have so many other things going on in their brain. First of all, it's not their job to know what you've ever hit. But like, I still remember there was one meet I did where like I did okay at it. I can't honestly remember what meet it was. It might have been Surge. And like I didn't do bad. Like it was a good meet. I think it was just the most recent Surge. So whatever year I did that.
Yeah.
2020.
I think it started 23 or...
No, like the most recent one. The one that me and Lena did.
That was not last year. So 2024.
Okay.
Or no, wait.
Yeah.
You just did one.
I don't know.
Yeah, you're right. 2025.
Yeah. Anyways, doesn't matter. But I think it was that one. And like, it was a good meet, like overall, like I had fun, like that was the goal. It was to go like perform well, like have a good time, whatever. So I did, and it was good. And I just remember everyone like afterwards like, oh, like, were those all PRs? And I was like, oh, no. Like, not a single one was a PR, like not even close to a PR. Yeah. But like, so like, and everyone was just like, oh, really? Like, oh, but it was so good. Like, so it was just interesting to me, like, hearing that and like seeing that, and because like I mean I know I've known that, but like also just like fully realizing that like genuinely no one cares what numbers you're hitting. Along with that, no one cares what you weigh at the meet to be hitting those numbers. Yeah. I mean, I'm sure you might have some hater somewhere that's like, oh well, I weighed a pound less than you, so I'm better than you. But like, whatever, that's not the people that you need to care about. So like the people that truly care about you and support you, one, they don't care what weight you weigh when you're hitting these numbers on the platform. So like cutting weight class, really it's irrelevant. And two, they don't know what numbers you're hitting anyways, or what numbers you've hit in the past. They're just proud of you for one, like getting up there, and they want to be there to support you, and because you're doing something that you enjoy, and they just want to see you have fun. Yeah. That's like the biggest thing that I took out of it, is like they want to see you do well, of course, and like have fun while you're doing it. So like
move well. Like that's another thing. Like I think it's interesting. It's like as we've been in the sport longer, people like want to see you move a weight well. Like it's really funny. Like when you see, like it's funny because I feel like sometimes like the general population, like people that don't powerlift per se, can like sometimes be a better judge of like RPE than powerlifters themselves because they're like they just don't know and they just go, yeah, that looked good. Or like, oh wow, that looked like a struggle. And like low key, in a way, because of like the naivety, it's like actually probably pretty accurate because they just don't know. They're just like, they're watching you squat and it takes like 10 seconds. They're like, dang, like, you okay?
That was
like,
hard.
They watch you squat and you just spring right up. They're gonna be like, oh, that was easy. And you know, to your point, like the weight doesn't like, and also there's kilos, so like people don't really like comprehend those anyways. So I feel like you're 100% right, and I think you should maybe share a little bit of the context of this and why that matters, because you would be putting pressure on yourself.
Well, yeah, I used to care a lot about like what numbers I hit, if I was PRing, like
if she was like lifting enough to go do the meet, like
I would feel like I would like let people down if I wasn't able to lift a certain number, and it just like. Really, I feel like got into my head. And once I kind of realized that like it doesn't matter and like no one actually cares, and like, I don't know, and then even at the last nationals, I had multiple people tell me like, which I mean, I did hit baby PRs, but that's not why. Like I have failed plenty of lifts at nationals recently, but like I had fun, and everyone was just being like, oh my gosh, like it's so good to see you smiling, like having fun, like this is so great for you. And like I was definitely not just smiling because I hit a PR. Like it was just fun. Like I was allowing myself to enjoy the meet, I guess. And I feel like that's just
that's a bonus one for Liz.
Yeah, sure.
Allow yourself to
enjoy what you're doing. Yeah. And then like, I don't know, everyone was like, it's so cool to see you so happy. Like I've never seen you smile so much at a meet. I'm like, oh yeah, like that's what I should be doing, right? Yeah. Like not obsessing or worrying about certain numbers or whatever. Like do what you can do for the day and just have fun doing it. Like, we enjoy powerlifting. That's why we're doing this, because it's fun.
Yeah.
So.
And at the end of the day, you're gonna you're gonna perform how you're gonna perform, like, which you are in control of that. However,
sometimes.
But my point is, like, you still need to show up. Like, I'm not saying to do nothing.
Yeah.
However, what you're gonna do is what you're gonna do. So you either literally have two choices that you can make, have fun, or don't. And like, you can make those choices regardless of what you lift or how it goes, how many lifts you end up hitting. And again, I'm not saying just like, just do whatever, but like, of course you want to lock in, but like, you may as well have fun while you're doing it.
Because like at nationals, so technically I went 6 for 9, which is, sounds like not a great meet. But like, one, I had so much fun. And two, a couple of people afterwards, like I said that and they were like, wait, you went 6 for 9? I'm like, yeah, I did. And like, I don't know, I didn't let it bother me, or I didn't let it get to me. And then I think because of that too, I was able to continue on and like just have a good time.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Which is good. All right, so my third one and final one, and probably the most important one, is, and oh wait, let me give you a timeline. I probably am just learning this like last year, okay? So again, that's like 15 years-ish of time it took me to learn this. And I'm telling you, if you are like a young person listening to this podcast, or you just started lifting, so like young in your lifting career, even if you're a little bit older, this is one of the most important things to understand. And that is, you can accomplish amazing things that you never thought were possible with one thing, and that is time. Time is really the biggest performance enhancer of all time. And you just need to figure out a way to be able to train long enough, stay healthy, stay engaged, make sure you're having fun while training like we talked about last week. And if you can do that and you can just keep going and be consistent, time will be on your side and you will accomplish things that you never thought possible. I am a testament to that. I like for all three.
Same?
Yeah. For all three lifts, like there's no, like I would not think I could do any of them. Like, of course, now that I'm getting closer, like I think I can do these things. That's why I set out a goal to do them. But like when I was younger, no way. And I think a big thing of that is that, when I was younger, I was extremely impatient, especially growing up. Like I was just like, if it's not now, like I'm not doing it. And I think lifting really taught me, also my wife, also owning a business, a lot of these things like taught me like the power of being patient and time, because patience really is time. Like it's kind of like in a way a synonym in my brain. Like if you are patient, you have more time, you will be able to accomplish more, period, dot. So I guess my thing is like, if you're starting out, like I said, whether you're like actually younger or you just are starting out in your lifting career and it's your first, few years, understanding that like the more time you give yourself, the more you're going to be able to accomplish is probably one of the most important things that I wish I would have understood a lot earlier. And like I said, I kind of just like started understanding this again. For me, like actions are a big deal for me. And like I pulled 705 finally for the first time. I was like, okay. I was like, well, that's crazy. Like just in my brain, like I could never like even imagine that like when I was younger. And then I did it, and I was like, all right, well, I guess you can really just kind of do like anything. You just gotta, within reason, you just gotta be patient. You just gotta keep going. So yeah, if you can figure out a way to give yourself more time, like I said, how that like actually applies to training is gonna be staying healthy, keeping yourself engaged, making sure you're like having fun while you're doing it. Training with other people, honestly, can help you keep going longer. Listening to your body, like certain days, like today, I did something weird on incline bench on Tuesday. Well, no. What I did was I did the hundreds after not doing them for like a year. And I don't know, felt something weird in my shoulder. And I figured, oh man, I just thought I just landed on Toby's tail. I figured it would feel better on Saturday. It felt pretty good, but like didn't fully feel correct, right? And I wanted like to do a certain number on bench, but just wasn't feeling it. But just in my brain, I'm like, I should do it. And that's like that old, like it's still in me. Like I'm just like, I should just do it.
And I said no.
And Liz is like, why? Like, and I'm like, oh, you're right. And that's the thing, you guys. There's always going to be another session. You're always going to be able to come back.
If you want there to be.
Yeah, if you want there to be. Good point.
Because I have heard people say, there's always another meet. Like, if you want there to be.
Yeah.
Like, you have to make that choice. You have to be the one to decide if there's another meet, another session.
Yeah, and one session or one meet will be your last at someday.
Yeah.
But yeah, on that note, you guys, just understanding that like time is your friend. You just gotta figure out basically how to be friends with time, which took me a long time to do. Ha ha ha. And I'm sure, I'm not saying I've fully figured it out, but I've come a long way. Even just in my patience in general. I don't know if Liz agrees, but I'm not gonna lie, I might be more patient than her at this point. I don't know. You're pretty patient though.
Yeah.
When you want to be. Yeah, I don't know. That's what I'm saying, I don't know. I feel like we've like rubbed off on each other. Like Liz is a little more impulsive than she used to be, but then I'm way more patient than I used to be.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah. All right, what's your last one?
So it's kind of like a two-part thing. We
only got time for one.
No, they go together. They go together. So I feel like for me, when I started training, like I was very stuck in like, this is how I'm doing something because this is what I started doing. So, but sometimes that's not always the best. Like you might need to change things as directed by a coach, ideally, or in conjunction with talking to your coach about it. But so like my thing is like, don't be afraid to change something. Because I feel like some people get very stuck, which I did, was I only low bar squat. This is all I do. This is where my hands go when I bench. This is where my feet go. This is how I deadlift. This is where my toes are pointing. And like they won't, and I'm talking like big change or little change. Like some people are just like, no, you told me to do that 3 years ago and that's what I've done every day for the last 3 years. And now you're telling me to do something else, but you told me to do this 3 years ago, so I can't change what you told me to do 3 years ago.
Yeah.
So my point with that is like, don't be afraid of trying something new or changing something, especially under the direction of your coach. Now, if you do change something, like, well, first of all, don't keep changing it back and forth and all over the place, because then you're not going to actually know if what you're changing is beneficial.
Yeah, it doesn't work. I tried.
Yeah.
Doesn't work.
Swear like every week
you can't go full ADHD on that.
He would like try a different bench grip like every week. And I'm like, I don't know how you're going to ever figure out
in
which
my
one
brain,
works.
I was like, I can lift this weight. I just got to figure out how to get my body in the right position.
That's not it. If you make a change, you got to give it at least a few weeks, because it might feel terrible the first couple weeks, and then it might feel great after that. You don't know. Or it might just still feel terrible and it might not be the change you need to make. But you do need to give it time to like figure it out. But then I forgot where I was initially going with that statement of something. I don't know. Don't be afraid to try things though, I guess is where I was going with that. So like
conventional, for example.
Oh, God.
I've been talking to Liz about trying a conventional for years. And here we are.
Yeah. Basically, I used to pull conventional, and I would still randomly pull conventional, but it was just never as strong as my sumo was, because that's what I trained all the time. Until the other day. Never as
strong, like barely less strong.
Okay. Until the other day when 341 stapled me to the floor with sumo.
Ultimate betrayal.
And now apparently I'm pulling conventional for a meet that I have in 7 weeks.
Oh yeah, plenty of time. That's like months.
I changed my whole deadlift stance in eight weeks out from a meet. Follow along, see what I do. The goal is to pull 400 conventional on a stiff bar.
And 18 pounds.
I mean, that would be like secondary, but like I'll just be pretty content with like a 402.
Okay.
Because who changes how they deadlift 8 weeks out from a meet?
You do, and we've done it before. This is the thing.
I have done this before.
Like.
I know, and it was literally like 7 weeks out from a meet last time. We changed my whole deadlift. I don't remember. We might have changed to sumo from conventional.
Well,
I don't know. But it was also 7 weeks out. I still remember. It was one of the first few meets I did. And it was fine. Like, it all turned out fine. So it'll be fine.
So I like this thing. I'm going to add on to Liz's thing. Since you lost your train of thought, I'm going to pick it up. Here's the thing. When you're newer in your powerlifting journey, since you're talking about powerlifting. So like when you're newer in your powerlifting journey, I actually think this is the time to like try different things, like Liz said, within reason. Talk with your coach, of course. Actually stick with it for a few weeks if you do make a change. But this is a great time to establish basically like how you move in the squat, bench, and deadlift. So like if you try conventional a few times and it's like awful, try sumo. If you try sumo a few times, like I see a lot of people, which is just crazy to me. Like I see a lot of people like they like, excuse me, not the people, but like they're coaches that are like already like having people do sumo when they don't even know how to deadlift. And like sumo is a very technical movement, period, dot. Like there are people that don't do it technically, but like if you want to get the most out of it and the best sumo pullers in the world, it is an extremely technical movement. And
stupid.
Yeah, you need to be generally strong first. And so I always would start people out with conventional. But let's just say you do conventional a few times and you're like, this is terrible. Try sumo. You know, it's a little bit more flexible. You have a little bit more freedom when you're a younger lifter. Let's say you've been doing it for a few years. Now it becomes a little bit of a thing. Like it's like, okay, like are we gonna switch from heels to flats? Okay, yes, we are. All right, let's give it a whirl. We're gonna try, you know, just our back downs this week, or maybe we try warming up with them or something like this. Like just a little bit, just to see. And it feels good, okay, let's try it for a few weeks, see how it goes. And then when you do get to like Liz's level, so we'll call it 5 years plus in the same sport, you know, in the sport of powerlifting, now you have to have a word that you didn't have to have before when you're making a change, because Liz is so strong and so like advanced in her lifting career, and her body is so adapted to moving weights a certain way. You have to have an important thing that you do not, I don't think, have to have when you're kind of like younger in your powerlifting career, and that is conviction. So like as a coach, you need to like be confident in a change you're about to make, especially if the lifters, we'll just say 5+ years in the sport, because like more than likely they don't need to make some drastic change. They just need to, maybe they're off that day, maybe you know they had something going on, maybe they didn't set something up correctly, maybe they're a little tight, whatever. And like if you make a big change like I just made with Liz's deadlift, you gotta have some conviction, you better have a good reason and some good like evidence behind that. And if you're wondering what that evidence is in this case, so like the biggest thing for me, for Liz, is that unfortunately, for whatever reason, because that reason I actually don't know, it eludes me and Liz, unfortunately, she's just not consistent with her sumo deadlift. She's not been able to be consistent. Some days, it's crazy. I'm like, we're pulling 500 pounds, like this year. Other days, I'm like that one day, like literally she got stapled with like
It didn't move off the floor.
And I think the week before, or 2 weeks before, she did 350 for
7.
Yeah, same stance. So,
God, so
you know,
dumb.
So the thing is like, in my mind, I'm like, well, like it's just not, and I see it like affecting like her as an athlete, like the mental, too much right now. So it's like, you know, and she overall, I mean, you're the strongest you've ever been, period. Like overall. So I can't have like this mental thing weighing down on her. So I'm like, well, like I know she's already good at conventional. I know she's already really strong. I've watched her, like her conventional looks good. Like there's nothing technically wrong with it. We've just never given it, I don't think, enough time to really like catch up to sumo. And therefore, because Liz has a little gym bro in her, even though she likes to pretend she doesn't, but she does, like you want to lift big. So like if there's one thing that you lift less and then you just literally switch to this and you lift more, it's like, well, I'm gonna do that one.
The most ironic part is I signed up for this meet to force myself to not let my ego take over and fix my sumo deadlift. And apparently now, instead of fixing my sumo deadlift, it has taught me that I have to pull conventional.
Yeah, at least for now. And like this is the thing, like though I do think you need to have like some conviction and good reasons behind it. You know, at the end of the day, like I mean, like Liz said, follow along, we'll see. I'm pretty sure I think she will literally be able to be the strongest, put together the strongest totals in her life ever with this change. But I might be wrong. So you just never know. That's the other thing. It's like, you know, as a coach, sometimes like even if you know, and by conviction, I mean like this is something I know, like, and I have a plan to like help implement it, and I'm confident in it. And then like, we're going to give it a few months. Like we're going to actually give it a good try, you know? That's the other thing with a lifter like Liz's position. I mean, like us switching for like 1 week literally tells me nothing. 2 weeks doesn't still really tell me much.
Well, told me a mistake I made, so now I have to fix it.
This is true.
Whoa. I just fell over.
You know, like we're really gonna have to like do this first block. Like probably by the end of this first block, I'm pretty confident she's going to be able to pull 500 pounds. I'm not kidding with this stance. Yeah, not this year, but like I literally think she could do it.
That's wild.
I'm telling you though, I'm going to go and then we got to wrap it up. But I'm telling you, like the reason is that sumo, while it is stronger for Liz, like maybe right this second on certain days, sometimes I don't know. Is it stronger? I don't
know because I failed through 41 and then I went and tripled through 52 in conventional the same day.
Yeah, the same day. So,
oh my God.
Yeah, I don't really know if it is, but whatever. In the past, it's been stronger, right? So like, though that is the case, at the end of the day, like it's not a sumo deadlift competition. I think if it was, I'd probably still continue trying to figure out how to like optimize a sumo deadlift. However, it's a powerlifting competition. We got squats first, we got bench, and those are going fantastic. We're making no changes. We're just continuing to crush. Like she's hit massive squat PRs, rep PRs, single PRs, bench rep PRs, single PRs. So that's 2 out of 3 right there. We just need the third one, which is deadlift. And the thing
join the party.
Yeah, the thing is that conventional has a lot of benefits, you guys. Like again, I see a lot of people, they start sumo. Unfortunately, I just think where they should just be doing conventional. Like conventional has a ton of benefits. One of them being it puts a lot less pressure on your hips. If you are not used to having like a very wide, like, or you don't have that kind of mobility, Liz, like this is a tough position to be in, really wide with your hips, and then like turn around and go really low with your hips for a squat. That's a lot of pressure on the hips. So if we can eliminate some of that pressure by moving the feet in, we have conventional, we're nice and stacked. It's a lot more, it's a lot more quaddy, hamstring, like upper back. This is going to be taking some of the pressure off her hips, keeping them fresh for squats. I like this. Number 2, she has a really good stack position. Like some people, me, not good stack position. I'm like forward every single time. Like it would be very difficult for me to like get my conventional where it's at my sumo. Versus Liz, like she's, like I said, she's been within like 15 kilos, 10, 15 kilos of her best without training it. Asterisks, without training it, okay? So imagine what we could do if we could train it. And then last but not least, being consistent is key. Like I've talked about this podcast and we've talked about in the past, like we need to string together like reps, weeks, months of like good sessions. And right now, the 1-2 skip a few, that's just not working. So even if these sessions are lighter weight, which they are right now, they're not, that much lighter, but they're lighter than she was doing with sumo or she has done with sumo. It's still better in my mind because it's a lot more predictable. It's a lot more predictable, so we can build onto it.
Hopefully.
Stay tuned.
7 weeks, we'll see.
Yep, we'll see. It's gonna be good. No, Liz is crushing it. So yeah, I think we're gonna go ahead and wrap it up. Thank you guys so much for joining us for another episode. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this one. If you did, please remember to subscribe to the YouTube channel. We're at like 520 something subscribers. So obviously the next goal is 600. Yep.
Okay.
I was gonna say 1,000.
Whoa.
Anyways, 600. So check us out on YouTube. If you haven't already, please subscribe. It really helps us grow and reach more people with our mission of redefining strong for everyone, you guys. That is our goal here at Fortis. And we always want to make sure we're helping you find your strong. So yeah, subscribe to the podcast, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, wherever you listen to them. And we'll see you guys in the next episode, which will be
2 weeks.
2 weeks. Because we have a seminar here next week at the studio. Well, this week when this launches, with Trevor Jaffe. So yeah, if you guys are signed up for that, we'll see you then. Otherwise, we'll see you guys in the next episode. Peace.
Bye.